Red flags. I shared this story earlier on the Q&A, and there are certain red flags that pop up whenever you are trying to do work with a client. And I've only experienced this one time, and I was like, don't like this, because whenever I'm doing work for you, I'm extremely genuine. I'm 100% invested in whatever it is that whatever I'm offering to you. So if you show me this type of red flag, I'm just gonna be like, fuck you, move on. So if you're noticing that your gut just doesn't feel right when you're approaching a person, that's one of the number one red flags. You don't necessarily have to completely cut them off, because you don't have enough experience at this point to be able to, based off experience, to truly be able to be like, okay, yeah, I'm not doing this, bye. However, you need to be alert. So if you start getting some red flags from this person, you need to start being a little bit more alert, prepare a little bit more. Don't fully give of yourself to this person, because they've got a red flag. They've got a red flag for a reason. And I'm not going to go super deep into that. We can get super esoteric. Not going to do that. But you're getting a red flag from that person. And the red flag that I experienced at this particular time was I wrote an entire sales page for this guy. I wrote literally pages for his website. It was a super easy job, but I wrote the sales page. I wrote his homepage, his about page, his contact page, got his blogs situated. And I noticed beforehand, because this was when I was super early in the game. This is technically my first actual client, because I'd already been writing articles for people and doing all that. But with this particular guy, I was writing a sales page as well as his different web pages. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask for half of it up front. And he gave me some BS excuse. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to be getting my payment from my customer for another few weeks. I don't really know who you are. I know so-and-so referred you, but I don't really know who you are. So I feel better if you got the work done and then I paid you. And I was like, okay, how about this? I'll do half the work now, and then you can pay me half of it. Once we finish the job, you can pay me the rest. Sounds reasonable. I'm sure it sounds reasonable to you. I didn't know this guy. He didn't know me. So I did the entire sales page. And then I also did, it was the home page, the about page, contact page, set up his archive page, and did a sidebar on the front page where his blog was. So I'd gotten all that copy done. After that, he had some other projects that he wanted my help with, and I was also going to refine it. So I was like, okay, great, here's what I've done. He gave me a hard time, because I was like, I've done half the work. He liked it, and I was like, okay, great, here's my PayPal. Bam, bam, bam. You can send just half the money. I'll finish it. Then you can pay me the rest once you're completely happy with the work that I've done. He's like, well, actually, I'm not crazy about this. I was like, well, you said you liked it. It was good. You're ready to proceed. So yeah, but I decided I didn't like it. So if you could just rewrite it. I ended up spending 6 hours going back and forth. Bam, 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 bam. Do you like this? No, bam, bam, bam. It was terrible. I wasted 6 hours, not including all the time that I'd put into that guy leading up to this. And I'm telling you, all of this to save you from wasting your time. You need to value your time, even if you are brand new. You need to value your time. Because I will end this story with telling you this. I finally told the guy, I was like, listen, I've done all this work, way more, you literally told me you liked it, but you keep wanting more and more and more. So just pay me half the money, and then I'll finish the rest, and then we're good. I'm done. I don't want any more work. This is good. And the guy still he was like, well, I have to wait for another 2 weeks till my customer pays me. This is why I'm telling you, work with people that have money. Do not work with people that are trying to be cheapskates. And I'm not saying go straight for a high ticket offer, because I myself am just getting into the more high ticket offers. But you need to be going after people that already have money. And a super good way to do this, could break this up into another module, but I'm not. I'm just going to put it in this one, is, well, actually, you know what? I will make a module about it, because it needs to be contextual to whatever you're doing. But I'll end this entire module with this. If you are getting red flags, the number one red flag that you can receive is they're a little unsure about paying you. If they're not okay with paying you half up front or some kind of deposit, do not work with that person. under most circumstances. Sure, there are certain circumstances where if it's somebody that your friend has worked with quite a bit and knows quite well, something like that, sure, you can work with them. But 99% of the time, if this is a legit person, they are going to have zero problems with at least paying you half up front. And if they're not okay with that, fuck working with them. You do not want that kind of trouble. There are a lot of other red flags, but that's the number one red flag. The other red flags are just personality issues, but that really comes down to you to be able to navigate around. Like, some people are terrible with like communicating. It's a personal problem of theirs. Maybe they're successful though. So you just need to understand that, and you need to get them to really describe what it is that you're doing for them. That way you're very clear in your mind before you begin working on what they expect from you. Because otherwise that's going to lead to some issues. I've actually had that recently with a pretty big potential contract where the guy just wasn't very upfront with what he was looking for. He ghosted me for a few days, and we ended up just separating. I was like, no. So those are some of the red flags. In the next module that I'm about to record, I'm going to share with you a feature that you can use on Twitter to find the perfect niches, the perfect people to reach out to.